My sister's husband lost his mind when I revealed that I was in a romantic relationship with someone else. This is just a vent post, but any advice would be appreciated. Context: I'm Ashley 17F. My sister, who we'll call Jess, 25F, has been married for 2 years to her husband, Jake, 34M. They got together when she was just starting college, and have been together since. As far as I know, they've never had any problems, and anytime they came around to visit they literally seemed like the model relationship. My parents never really made any of the right choices in life, and because of this my sister basically raised me herself. I'm so grateful to her for this, and I know that she had to make so many sacrifices to be able to do so. When she was in college, I'd make sure to call her at least like 3 times a week just to get updates and see how she was doing. In these conversations she'd talk about schoolwork, what she was planning to do, and then she'd talk about Jake. She described him so wonderfully that it literally upped my own standards of love. For example, all the flowers she got, all the beautiful dates she went on, and how he treated her so amazingly. After living with my parents who should have gotten divorced a long time ago, I wasn't someone who had a guide of what a healthy relationship should look like, so I became quite close with Jess and Jake. It had always been me and my sister growing up, so when she introduced me to Jake it felt like I finally had an older brother. Eventually, Jess and Jake moved in together, got engaged, and now they're married. My parents ended up kicking me out because I refused to pay them rent. I have a job at a luxury horse ranch, and there's a few perks. They'll let you use their horses to practice, they'll offer free lessons with a riding instructor, and all around I just love my job too much. I didn't want to leave it. Due to these perks, though, my pay isn't that good, and for how much my parents were asking for, I'd have to get a second job, or quit to find one that pays enough. So I found myself living with Jess and Jake. Jake works from home, so unless he's taking Jess out, or at the gym, he's at home. He makes enough money doing whatever it is he does. I have no idea what he actually does, but Jess told me that it was his family's company, so that explains it, I guess. Recently, they came to me and told me that they were expecting, and obviously, I was very excited for them. But my sister has had a few miscarriages in the past, and we needed to be extra careful with her. This has turned out to be a very complicated pregnancy for my sister, even in these early stages, so it's very high risk. Hopefully, this is enough for you to get a clear idea of what's going on. My parents had an old car that I was allowed to drive to work and school, but after they kicked me out I could no longer use it. This was a bummer as I always liked the sense of freedom that having a car gave me, but whatever, I'll get over it. Jake insisted that he would start taking me to school in the morning, and then driving me to and from work. I was extremely grateful for this because I didn't have to take the bus or walk. So after Jake finished his daily routine at the gym, he would head home, shower, get me Starbucks, and drop me off at school, and then in the afternoon he would pick me up from school, and then drive me to work. At the end of my shift, he was usually waiting outside or on the way, so it was really a great help, and I was so thankful that he would take so much time out of his day to help me. In the car, we'd end up talking and having conversations, whether it was about Jess or the plans for the baby, but he'd always ask me if I was dating someone, or had a crush on them.